stranded in nowhere. Cross my arms, destiny will come. No way to see you, but the earth and the sky are singing out. No way to see you, but your eyes are as pure as the clouds. And it breaks my heart to see when I cry uncontrollably that a thing like innocence got the attention of my heart. We all follow the light, doesn't mean that's right enough.
Dyer's band. Radiant's pick.
Earth Shaker.
Dyer's pick.
Good evening and welcome back to the CSL Round 32 Challenge between Purdue University and USC. My name's Toffee's bringing you the action here. You can find me at Toffee's TV, and I'm joined by my co-caster, Gorgon the Wonder Cow.
My pleasure to be here again.
And it should be a pretty good game. Before we talk about it, let's do a big shout out to our sponsors, Twitch, for sponsoring the CSL and featuring our matches weekly, and Asus Republica Gamers, the presenting sponsor of the CSL this year. They make some of the best gaming PCs, laptops, and monitors in the world, and they'll be funding this season's travel as well as the prize pool to DreamHack. So make sure you check them out. Go to the website cstarleague.com and enter for your chance to win a free Asus laptop, gaming laptop. I've got one of these bad boys, and I got to be honest with you, Gorgon. It is the Cadillac of gaming laptops. No joke. It's amazing. Go enter for your chance to win it. You will not regret it. There's 2 monitors for second and third place. Now,
If we weren't official CSL personnel, I would enter because that's how sweet the prizes are. Like, it's worth your time.
if I was an official Asus personnel, I might just go enter anyway. Let's be honest. We'll go make a video right now. And we'll just donate it to whichever team gets 5th place, basically. So how fun would that be if we could actually win it and then donate it as like a consolation prize? All right, enough postulating. Let's talk about the draft. Invoker OD banned out, and look at that first ban, no surprise. Earth Spirit taken off, and a Tidehunter. So massive respect cans coming from USC. We see the Beastmaster and the Venge picked up, Earthshaker and Nature's Prophet. USC looks like they say you take one, we're going to bring back the cheek in just a different way.
Yeah, I am interested to see the Beastmaster usage here, and really both teams seeming to go for some global vision / global presence with the Beastmaster Hawk, and the Nature's Prophet has obvious global components. I would not at all be surprised to see Purdue go for some sort of mass teleport strategy, because they seem to be the sort of team that likes that kind of cheese.
Yep. Well, and
watch for a potential tinker.
Okay, here's the question though. Yes, cheese is good, but when you're down a game in a single elimination race to the finish...
Well, Purdue is up a game.
Right. I thought you said USC was going to go for the teleport cheese.
No. Purdue teleporting onto the Hawk.
I gotcha. Okay. That I could definitely see that. They have a game in hand. They could definitely do something like that. Nature's Prophet Earthshaker tells them they're looking for some lane control and potentially a little bit of push. Beastmaster brings the same thing on the opposite side. So far, this is looking like it may be a bit of a barn burner, as both teams have got something a little bit unique in mind. Gyrocopter's going to get banned out. The Zeus banned out by Purdue. What do you think about? You think that Zeus is a ban because they're worried that Nature's Prophet implies a global strat coming from USC here?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them ban Spectre here as well. They've already gotten rid of the Invoker, right? They got rid of the zoo. Spectre is another popular hero that pairs well with Nature's Prophet because of the global initiation. Also carries really hard into the late game and benefits a lot from the sort of space that a active Nature's Prophet can provide.
Absolutely.
So I think it would be a strong ban here for Purdue.
And on the opposite side, we see Wave Clear getting banned out from the Gyrocopter. Looks like some push might be in the offing. They're getting rid of the Disruptor so that there's no issues for a split push escape. So far it seems like we're seeing. Go ahead.
Also, global hero. The Ember ban also. Usually a hero that you see get boots of travel relatively early, can play globally, benefits with the global potential from Nature's Prophet and the rat therein, so not a terrible ban.
Makes sense. Now, we still got plenty of global heroes out there. They've got that Spirit Breaker, they've got the Spectre, they've got the IO Relocate if they want to use it. USC with a lot of options, though, obviously. They have to be careful here because they are a game down, and if they try to get too cheeky and work some sort of alliance-level push, it could backfire. Purdue seems like they have their coordination down to a fine art in that last game.
If USC have a strong IO player, an IO Tiny or an IO Sven here would be really good. But they did not quite seem to be
synced. They weren't
totally in sync last game. Right? They seemed maybe not 100% on the same page the whole time.
It's like they were celebrating Chinese New Year or something, and they just didn't.
It wasn't that bad. Let's not be insulting.
Oh, I know. That was so bad. God, Shanghai. Sorry.
Just forget it happened.
I thought Ehome
Let's
would
just
do
forget
so much
about
better. It's just sad.
Most people did.
Enchantress, most people. That's Gorgon's way of laughing in my face. Enchantress from Purdue University is going to get picked up. I like the Enchantress here. She's got the split push. She goes well with the Beastmaster. Lots of damage output. I think a really good pickup and someone who's underutilized currently, especially at this
Enchantress?
Play level. I think at this play level, I don't think we see a lot of her at this play level.
Maybe at this play level, but at the pro level, she's like one of the most used heroes.
So as I was talking about collegiate Dota, I don't think she's utilized as much as I think she's especially strong at this level of play.
She's strong at every level of play. She's another hero that radically needs a nerf. She, in terms of like the 4K level play, she's in the top 50% of heroes played. But you're right, she's not the most played hero in the world at that level. She is in the top 10 when you get up to the 5K plus level, which we do have a lot of players here that do play in that bracket. So she's probably in like the top 10 or 15% of heroes that these players on average see. You know, not absolutely at the forefront, but definitely a hero that they're aware of, that is on the forefront of their minds, and that they're used to running with and against.
All right, so we see a Juggernaut, presumably a Battle Fury Juggernaut, if I don't miss my guess, picked up here for Purdue.
Yeah.
Ursa going to get picked up for SC. I like the Ursa initiation, the damage. There's a lot of damage initiation from USC here. The problem that I have is, again, they're going to have to deal with the Beastmaster Enchantress. They're going to have to deal with a really strong early mid-game, and Juggernaut's going to farm. Enchantress is going to leave the jungle. Juggernaut's going to walk in with the Battle Fury and just wreak havoc, and he gets very strong if he can buy himself even 6 to 8 minutes of free farm. And the last game, if it showed us anything, it showed us that they absolutely can find that space over on Purdue.
USC probably... They don't seem to have any response to the Enchantress offlane, any way to kill her in the early game. Now in the mid game, they've got a lot of ways to deal with her. They do have the ability to just kind of perma-stun her out with the Earthshaker, also Echo Slam potentially, very strong against her. They do have Death Ward, which is really good against Enchantress because she is low health, low armor, and survivable based on Untouchable. Right. Death Ward does not have an attack speed that gets slowed. Ursa's Fury Swipes also actually overpower the Untouchable at a certain point in the game, but not very quick, not early on in the game. So
at a point where Juggernaut's becoming the real issue.
Right. I will say Witch Doctor is a very strong hero right now. I expect going into the next patch, Witch Doctor will probably be one of the, if not the most valued hero next patch, just speculating based on the way that patch heroes tend to work. He's just below the threshold where we'd expect him to receive really a serious nerf, but he's still very viable, very strong. He fits a lot of strategies. So a lot of the heroes above him will probably be cut down, and he'll probably kind of float toward the top into where you kind of see the Vengeful Spirit hang out right now. That's what I'm expecting. So this is, if they are running Witch Doctor fairly frequently, that could say good things about USC's overall awareness.
Makes sense. All right, so we are also going to, let's see what we got here. TA gets picked up. What do you think about that TA pick?
It's interesting. It clears out wave all right.
Mhm.
The kite potential onto the Ursa is nice. I don't really know that I would say I like it. It's very greedy.
Mhm.
The Vengeful Spirit, a hard support here, presumably, and that means that you maybe have a Beastmaster support or jungle's semi-support Enchantress. That's possible. Enchantress is
Yeah.
most successful out of the offlane this patch, both in Pro and in Pub Dota.
Hmm.
So it's interesting to see how they lane this, because they do have the option, like I said, to run the Beastmaster as a semi-support or to run the Enchantress as a semi-support.
Right. So when you say semi-support, you mean a dedicated jungler?
Yeah, for the Enchantress, it's usually like, I'll get some wards, but I'm not
Right.
going to contribute that much.
Right, because it
And
seems
I'm
like
going
Purdue's
to
going to a
actively try
hard
to
5 sort of build here with no intention of
Right.
having a second support to a large extent. And they can be greedy if they want. If they don't win this game, they have a third one. Queen of Pain's going to get picked up to deal with the TA in the middle. I like that because of the dagger, but at the end of the day, I don't know that they have enough late game to deal with the Juggernaut should it come to that. I'm going to let you do introductions on both teams real quick because I'm going to fix the
All right.
overlay to make our fans incredibly happy as we have... well, the last hit, Deny, is now going to be available for you guys to look at.
All right, guys. So we are moving in here with USC on the Radiant side. We've got Nevermind on the Scream of Pain. Wirt is calling his buddies on the Nature's Prophet. Chromosome is stomping around on the Earthshaker. BH has the Fury on the Ursa. And Yin Yang 92 doing that voodoo he does so well on the Witch Doctor here. For Purdue on the Dire side, we've got Han on the Templar Assassin. Juggernaut is going to be taken for a spin by G. Tweak is going to be on the Enchantress. Kills someone, is throwing out those screams with the Vengeful Spirit. And Game of Tilt is going to be playing the Beastmaster. Now, I do want to point out how awesome Game of Tilt landed Ravages last game. He didn't miss any. He basically, those Ravages, like I had said before, were the catalyst on which the victory was built. The Primal Roar is a very similar style of skill. You really have to get in very close to use it. You want to be able to hit multiple heroes with it. Ideally, often you will get a Blink Dagger in order to utilize it effectively. I'm interested to see how Game of Tilt does on this hero.
All right, now we're going to see again both teams send large numbers to each rune and secure it as it will be grabbed on both sides. Easy peasy, no issues for either team. Han might have had a little bit as his team pretty much took off the second that they realized that they were safe to do so. Dire with a good ward put up nice and early to give their offlaner a touch of an advantage as Game of Tilt working the body blocks very, very well with both his hero and his boar. So he's slowing that lane down aggressively up on top. Same thing coming out from G as Purdue looks to get an early start in this game. The battle for mid has already started, and neither lane has met up on top or bottom. That said, we'll see Wirt taking some damage right out of the gate from Kill Someone, who had a very good Venge game last time around. Excited to see him playing the same hero. If it works, stick with it. And now Game of Tilt will come forward, gets hit with the cask, and that is going to be some trouble for Beastmaster in this lane. So be careful with his boar, because the cask will, if not get him killed, allow them to continuously farm that boar. It's just an extra creep gold.
Down bottom, the Beastmaster is going to be our offlaner here, and the Enchantress is going to pseudo offlane. She's utilizing this stack right here, or this, camp right here, and presumably that means that she is going to rotate into the offlane to try and get a kill around level 2, level 3, something along those lines.
Would be what I'd expect here. She does her thing, keeps that farm going, and, well, I'm just really curious to see.
Yeah.
Who do you think has the advantage in the laning phase right now? Or is there a lane in particular that's going to be really important as we go into the early mid game?
Mid, I think, is really important because both the Juggernaut and the Ursa will probably get more or less free farm. Right. So whoever controls mid or whoever rotates more effectively out of mid will probably put their team onto the momentum pattern for victory.
I got you.
So if we're talking about just laning phase, I would say keep an eye on mid in terms of the last hits denies. I don't expect an early kill anywhere unless the Beastmaster gets really aggressive and the teleport comes in maybe.
Okay.
Maybe the Enchantress gets a successful smoke rotation somewhere as well, but other than that, it probably seems like until the teams start to group up a bit more, we'll see some passive play. Both teams are getting the advantage out of the lane that they want the advantage in, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. Wirt is managing to get his levels, though. He's sticking close and getting as much farm as he possibly can. Kill someone will go ahead and pull lane. Wirt's going to send in his Treants to soak up a few last hits, cause a little bit of trouble here, and they will do exactly that. Juggernaut happy to just last hit under tower and stay as focused as he can be, though he's down at half health, and he's got one Fairy Fire to his name, so doesn't want to go too low. They do have some potential for rotations here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Chromosome with that Earthshaker heads towards the mid position. Never mind getting... Oh, there it is. The Enchantress. That is the pain that no mid wants to deal with, right? The tornado.
Yeah, the tornadoes have just been sitting there for a little while. And Earthshaker's going to try to rotate. It's going to be unsuccessful, at least at first.
So he will come back, harasses a little bit. The tornado doing its work, and now we'll see Wild Ring Ripper head back over to help out Tweak.
This is smart. Coming out of the supports, they know that the Beastmaster is not going to feel comfortable leaving into the lane with the Ursa there, with the lane equilibrium so far. So as soon as they got that pull, they rotated mid on the off chance that they can get a kill. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to, because equally smart, the Templar Assassin saw the Earthshaker try to move in and decided to hang back.
Yeah.
But
This Han not taking the strategy he took in the film, where he puts himself out there, being very safe. Wirt going to keep pushing into G. He's got to be careful, though, here, as Kill Someone is looking to make a play, at least in some capacity, on Wirt if he keeps pushing forward. So there's definitely something to be said for the stun spin combo. Lots of damage output since that changed to the Juggernaut spin recently. I guess it's not so recent now.
it's like a year ago, isn't it?
No, it's not. It can't.
It's something like that. It was a while ago.
It was right after.
It doesn't matter.
It was right after his super overpowered phase with the Mask of Madness build.
Yeah, that was in like March.
Time flies.
Or
when you're
April.
Dota 2-ing.
Yeah, man.
Living
That
that
was
Dota
that
life.
was a while ago.
You wake
That
up
was the
and
same time the sniper was really big, right?
Yeah.
That was 63 up top.
Yep, we gotta
Wirt
move on.
is gonna be your
Wirt's in
first
some
blood.
trouble, trying to put some body blocks up from his Treant. Not gonna happen. Doubles back. One more right click will do the job. And down he goes. Kill someone, doesn't just kill anyone. He kills the offlaner. So we're gonna see a push forward in the mid. Han went up for Yin Yang and basically was trying to get the kill. Saw Chromosome low, could not close the deal, and ends up going down. Actually, she got Nevermind and Yin Yang down or Chromosome down low, but just could not close it out. And BH will continue to do his work bottom lane by himself. He got that Beastmaster in a World of Hurt. He's actually flown out a healing salve to try and help him out in this lane. So
I think did the TA get the courier killed diving in too deep with it chasing her as well? Because the courier died, but I didn't quite catch where.
did not
I
catch
think
where.
it probably, just based on the odds of patterns that I've seen in the past, probably the TA called it, forgot that she called it, dove in, and got it killed alongside her. The loyal subject to be buried in her tomb with her.
well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Purdue not having as good of an early game as last time. Granted, that early game was built on the back of an Earth Spirit, who we can all agree is just a bit too strong in the laning phase right now. A little bit of actually a lot more of an even game, as Purdue has a very slight lead on XP, and that is about it at the 6-minute mark. Juggernaut getting lots of farm, though he's only 29 and 13. I thought he might have a little bit more at this point in the game, though. Nature's Prophet has been in some real trouble, did end up going down. Yin Yang being chased here by Han, who is invisible, wants to get the strike. Yin Yang doesn't know how close he came to perpetual death.
Yeah, if he knew, that would have been a butt-puckering moment. That
butt-pucker for
maybe
sure.
a spider sense was going, because
Yeah.
if he had stopped for even a second, he would have died.
He ran a dodge path. Like, I think he knew something was up. They do have vision here.
He
He probably saw the
probably-
invis picked up.
Like, a psionic trap there might have been a kill anyway, even without the invis usage. But though there is still no level of meld here for the TA, so you don't have that negative armor at least.
That's true. TA is going to head towards the... Okay, goes ahead and checks for some wards, I suppose. Heads... Oh, no, that's what she was trapping. Sorry. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Traps up the top rune, heads right back down to keep the farm going in middle. 2 points into Psy Blade, 3 into Refraction. Down on the bottom, let's check in on Game of Tilt. He's got himself an Iron Talon and 12 last hits currently. I'm at a point where we're going to flip over to the net worst. We can keep an eye on that. And you're going to see Nevermind harassing Han, but Juggernaut at the top, Quap, and Ursa not far behind. Game still very even in terms of who is what and where.
Yeah, the I think story of the game so far in terms of where your advantage is coming from is how low the Nature's Prophet is on the totem pole. He is not rotating around very effectively. He does not have a Midas up. He is not going to catch up because he didn't go for a Midas build, which I think it's perfectly reasonable to not go for a Midas build, but you do have to be aware that the cost of that is that throughout the rest of the game, his impact is going to be a little bit nullified.
Baby, BH decides to go man mode, but kill someone was on standby. Stun comes in, Game of Tilt turns and runs, manages to get away. Good choice because Fissure was on the way. In comes Rado, Wort caught out, misses the Sprout, and now Wort's got to run because there is no mana for the Fissure. Yi Yang now makes the transition. Good play. I will say this about USC, they are much more organized with their TPs, reacting quickly in this match. And that Wort, I thought, might be in a spot of trouble there, but does get out because of a good TP rotation coming out of the Witch Doctor. Though, a nice kill on the Ursa. Purdue starting to kind of, it feels like, get their feet under them.
If Wort had showed up a little bit quicker there, if he had even maybe tried to scare them off by teleporting someplace where they could actively see him sprouting out of the ground, maybe he could have saved the Ursa. But then again, he might have died with that plan as well. Either way, I think a slightly faster rotation probably would have done his team a lot of good.
They brought everyone down. Yi Yang went up to put up the ward. They know it's there because they saw him go into the Roche pit, so they'll rotate around. Meanwhile, up on top, G getting the free farm. Going to start to lay into this lane. Auto-attacking to get some damage onto the tower. He's at 3.7k. Quap about even. The problem is Quap will theoretically fall off at some point, but Juggernaut will continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And he is getting close to that Battle Fury. He'll vanish into the jungle relatively soon.
Yeah, does he have something waiting for him that I don't see? He's still a decent ways off of his Battle Fury. He's not going to get like a record Battle Fury time or anything. Game of Tilt is going to prime a roar down bottom to interrupt Yin Yang's ultimate. Now there's going to be two teleports in as well. We're trying to get away.
AoE Gold wants to make the chase. He has his ultimate. He's closing. They want to get past the creep wave. Goes into Sprout. They eat their way through, and ultimate put in to make sure that there's no TP away. Down he goes. Big shot ulti from the Quap, and that will take out the Enchantress and the Beastmaster. Han wants to chase. Chromazone is there. BH waiting in the wings, looking for an initiation potential. Han has Refraction available if he needs to use it. BH is going to force that. Refraction is used. Armor reduction. Nice stun on the Fissure. Here comes the healing ward. Han taking a lot of heals. There's the stun on BH, and they will utilize the kiting to make sure he gets away from the Ursa. So a 2 for 2 there, but I think Purdue came out ahead, especially because they brought that Juggernaut down to be involved with multiples.
It ends up breaking down pretty heavily in favor of USC. It was like 800 to 300 gold swing, and the Jug didn't end up getting basically anything. He lost money on the teleportation, to be quite honest. So,
well, they pushed back. Treants come out.
Surprisingly.
I thought they'd get a little more. I think his last hit had gone a little bit differently for the Juggernaut in 2 of those kills.
Oh, yeah. If he had managed to get the last hit instead of whoever did end up getting it.
Wort just barely gets out of there. Whoa. That was a butt pucker. 100%. Somebody on the team, go check him out. See if he needs a new pair of underpants. We can pause while he changes them. Gold lead at 1,000. XP at 1,000 as well for Purdue, as we're looking at that Juggernaut continuing to get his, I would say, probably 14 to 16 minute Battle Fury here. Look at Han's going to go head-to-head with Yi Yang, gets caught out, uses the meld, I'm sorry, not the meld, uses the Refraction to just get himself out of trouble. But that's a second.
It's going to be an easy mid-tower, though.
Yeah, mid-tower in some trouble. Kill someone going to hide in the trees. G wants to come out and contest it. It looks like there's a nice job by Purdue to bring in the heroes to get the deny and push everyone backwards. So well played there. It is slowing down G's farm just a little bit, but the trade those probably be okay.
Yeah, he'll still get his Battle Fury up at about 14.5 minutes if he continues the space, which is not a terrible time for Battle Fury on a Jug. Considering the Ursa gets going faster than the Juggernaut does, just innately, and he does almost have a Blink Dagger on the Ursa as well. I do think Purdue need to be active, and they need to start trying to strip some towers with Healing Ward. Maybe get an Enchantress army as well to do so. And they might even just be waiting on the drums for Enchantress before they do that, because they're certainly going to want to get some vision control before the Ursa starts to go into Roshan, which could literally be any moment now.
G's got phase boots on the way out to him right now to help with this farm here in his own jungle, and he will immediately rotate around back up there and get the under tower farm. 3 in the mid for Radiant, and 2 on the bottom here. Han and kill someone, looking like maybe they want to try to get a pick here. Nope, Han will rotate back away, and Han will just keep pushing forward.
Templar Assassin seems to be saving up for Blink Dagger as well. She is not off to a very good start. Yeah, she's a full 1,000 behind her laning partner. Remember, we had said that mid lane is probably going to dictate the pace for the next several minutes coming out of the laning phase. And USC are in a very strong spot right now. We're already seeing it with their constant pressure onto towers. They are able to command and control the terms of engagement when they do end up facing against Purdue. And they've managed to put themselves into a pretty good spot. Under cover of smoke, Ursa does have Blink Dagger, does want to go in on somebody.
He does.
The smoke expired.
Under attack here, they'll push Han backwards as Chromosome will come through to defend with a little bit of help from his Nature's Prophet ultimate, and they'll also push up that top tower. Like you said, Ursa looks like he wants to make something happen, but there's only 3 at the moment. He really wants to look at him.
He's clearing up. He can't be here investing in this without getting a kill at this point. He just has to.
Go through and get a little bit of farm here to make up for the waiting around. Now we'll see G go through, do a little farming of his own, and will they conflict? Ursa wants it, but the longer he waits, the less he's got friends around to help him out. He's in danger.
Yeah, he's on it. He should just go Roche.
Yeah. This is
just when he's got a TP, he's got an anchor point. He should just go into Roche.
I wish I'd started.
But he really wants his kill.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like they want to move.
He feels spot committed.
He does.
Yeah.
But that's the problem.
He's got his 2-7, and he's going to take it all the way to the river, Toffee.
You got to know when to hold him, and sometimes you got to fold on the river because you've been beat. And honestly, it's better to just fold than to take a dive, to get washed out. And I think that it's finally time for a tower.
Yeah, now he finally TPs. Now he's going to engage down bottom instead if he can find something. But really nice rotations from Purdue, just kind of kiting out this Ursa.
All right, Han.
To their credit, they are really punishing him.
Yeah,
he's getting nothing.
And P is doing a good job of sort of showing a little something and tempting him to come down to look for a kill, and then just dissipating. And that's exactly what we saw there from Han. Han pushed forward, saw the TPs came out. Even with the fissure stun, it wasn't long enough to keep him in a gank range, and he was gone. Now BH goes in.
Why? You know they have a TA. They're going to rotate on you. You know this Ionic Trap is there. He has to know that they know because he got hit by Nature's Prophet's ult. Oh, wait, no, Roche got hit by Nature's Prophet.
They're going to push the bottom tower at the same time, hoping to maybe make an engagement. BH very low, gets caught by the slow at the last possible second. Blinks away. Chromosome, double stun. Tweet comes in. Impetus putting up some damage. There's the Sprout. G's going to eat his way out with that Quelling Blade, and they will stop the Roche attempt at half. They did lose the bottom tower there, so maybe that was their play, was they knew that the TP's in would be forced to go after BH in the Roche pit, let them finish the bottom tower, and then BH walked off the second the bottom tower was guaranteed to go down.
Man, that's like putting your balls in a vice so you can take tools off the shelf. That's a very risky way to grab a tower.
All right, goal. Yeah, sorry, they're having a discussion in Twitch chat about how hard it is to raise your MR at night, which is why unemployed people
only do it at night.
No way, everybody's drunk. I hate doing it at night. Depends on bracket you're in. If you're below 4K, I feel like everybody's pissed, drunk, or stoned.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I win or lose. I literally have played games in 24 hours a day, and they're idiots 100% of the time. So
it's idiocracy is an international trade. All right,
yeah.
Gold Lead. Gold Lead is back on USC's side for the first time in this game, as they're starting to get themselves back up and running. A nice pickoff on the TA as they're going to look down towards the bottom, where USC is rotating Yin Yang, trying to come in behind Game of Tilt, who's by himself right now. Would love to catch him out, but he's going to keep those fours forward. Vengeful Spirit goes down. Where was that pick?
Never mind, rather, just kind of blinked in and engaged on the two of them. They didn't have the ability to handle the harass.
And this is exactly what USC wanted to do. They're already now. So just like that, they're up to a gold lead of over 1,000 and starting to take this game in hand. And USC playing night and day differently than they did in the last match.
1,000 is a very small gold lead, considering that they had.
Yes, but you have
they
to,
are
you have
up a
to
full
agree.
tower.
The rotations feel more, with the exception of the Ursa.
Oh
debacle,
yeah, they're playing much better.
Right. With the
They are
exception of
playing
the
much
Ursa
better.
debacle, it's been lights out. Much better play, much better communication, much better rotations.
No, they are playing much better, but I think what I'm trying to point out is like being up 1,500 net worth at 17 minutes when they do have a tower advantage as well. That's a very small, extremely tenuous advantage that really Purdue could turn around in a blink of an eye.
You and your
that could be
$5
completely
words.
neutralized. What blink of an eye?
No, tenuous.
You know.
No, I mean,
Then you got to reach to the top shelf.
you're a great orator. I will give that to you. All right.
I'm really surprised Ursa has not had somebody come down and drop a sentry
Right?
up there,
All right. So
just so that the threat of a potential Roshan, as long as that trap is allowed to be there, the threat of the Roshan is always real.
Oh, kill someone gets the stun just in time, but it's not going to be in time because BH is on standby. Blink dagger at the ready, but he got stuck in the V and he gets away. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, wow is right. Fissure really not helping doing no favors there.
What's he doing up there, BH? I think I was a blink into a pit that was misjudged. Yep, it was.
This is really troublesome for USC. Like, this is actually very problematic. They are giving a just boatload of time for this TA to catch back up.
Yeah.
And Ursa does better at this stage of the game than Jug if Jug does go for a Battle Fury build, which he has.
BH is on the
Ursa,
run.
you
Here comes the
know they can
ultimate.
see
He's
him.
got the ulti. He spins instead, though. Wants to finish him and hold the ultimate. Gets him down. Wants the ultimate ready to go now. Can he do it before the stuns come in? He's caught inside of the Sprout. He's stunned. He's locked in place. He doesn't get it off. Ultimate comes out from the Witch Doctor, putting up some serious damage on Han. They get the turnaround on Kwap, and now Yin Yang is stunned. The follow-up, the Impetus will nuke him from the low ground. Chromosome with a triple, but at what cost is he too overexposed? Wirt wants to come in. Whoa, the Desolator. Surprise! And it's a team wipe, baby, as USC drops like a bag of rocks off of what looked like an attempt. It didn't look like it was an attempt to get a Roche that just did not work out.
Yeah, so just to put some perspective on that one fight, right? The net worth, just that Purdue gained there, not even the net worth swing, but just the positive gold in hand that they gained was greater than the advantage that any team had to this point in the game.
Had.
Yeah, and had. Yeah, had. That's not wrong.
Not a bad
Sounds funny, but it's not wrong.
Be a good gamer tag.
Had.
Had to come back a couple of times in this game. So
Don't
after
give
all of
me
that,
any
the gold
ideas,
swing
Stoppies.
is almost 5,000, 3,500 up by
It's a
Purdue
1900
University.
swing. Or a 1900 positive gain,
Positive gain.
for Purdue. That's a lot when the highest advantage that anybody had up to that point is 1500, right?
So let's do a quick, give me an item update for those who maybe are playing along at home and are just sort of relaxing at their computer instead of frantically clicking around the map like we are.
Well, our lucky players here on USC for the Radiant side are holding on to a lot of Dust of Appearance. They have managed to grab an Orchid of Malevolence onto Nevermind.
Sorry, work got Meld Strike fucked up there. Like 3-shotted. It
There-
was too brutal.
He is a Desolator on the Templar Assassin, which certainly makes her a force to be reckoned with. Now, thanks to that kill, she also has a Blink Dagger, so she is officially caught up. She's where she's supposed to be. So USC just kind of dilly-dallied too long. There are double Blink Daggers here. One for the Ursa and one for the Earthshaker as well. Those are all the big items that we've not talked about so far. But, yeah. I really think USC have lost control of this game, and they kind of need Purdue to fumble in order to get back, or maybe a good smoke gank rotation with Ursa just chewing through somebody. But
Yeah.
Ursa does not go late on even, or in this case, behind ground of
Right.
his opponent. He's only got 5,700 net worth. The Juggernaut has 9,100. So he's almost being doubled by the Juggernaut.
All right, so let's look at BH. Like you said, the Ursa has the Blink Dagger, and that's about it right now. Going to get a descendant on both sides. G's looking for fun, finds Chromosome, goes with the spin instantaneously. Meanwhile, BH gets caught by the Han Meld Strike Blink. He's going to go down, and G will get stunned, but should be able... Nope, not going to be able to finish him. The Blink Dagger comes off of cooldown as Chromosome will be able to get out. Wait a second.
This Ursa got kited on so many levels this game. He's getting kited in the fights physically. He's being kited.
Right.
He's being kited around the map by a longer string. Like anytime he goes to one side of the map to engage in a fight, his opponents go to the other side of the map and make him rotate again. And he got kited all the way through the window of time where an Ursa is particularly strong. And then he got pulled around the Roche pit several times as well. It is a windy day for this Ursa.
Yeah, it's not going well for him at this particular moment in time. Quap is the highest farmed hero on the map, but she's not far ahead of Juggernaut or TA. Both are at that 9.5k and gaining quickly. So you did say that she needed space to come back. TA comes back, and Han showing that he knows what to do when it comes to catching up from behind. Beastmaster also online. The next closest is Radiant at the 5k, 5.5 on that Nature's Prophet. Underwhelming, to say the least. So USC definitely has to sort of sit back right now and say, okay, guys, what do we do to get ourselves back into this?
Yeah, they can't sit back. They will just lose if they don't get active. They need to be getting kills. It's 100%. They need to be getting kills. Maybe a Beastmaster and split push down towers, great, but the rest of them need to be getting kills.
All right, in they go. BH wants to move on Han. Han goes invisible, comes out with the Melt Strike. Big Echo Slam. G going to start to spin. Age is going to be utilized here. Chromosome on the chase. Han comes right back up. Moves on Ursa. Ursa go boom. Yin Yang with the swap. He's going to drop. Wirt TP's in, but all it's doing is saying, hey guys, I arrived just in time to oversee your death. So he looks at the Funeral Pyre and runs back to base as Purdue goes from an even game to a game in hand, for all intents and purposes, in a time slot of roughly 8 minutes.
Yeah, we're about 16 or 17 seconds away from both the TA and Juggernaut doubling up the net worth of the
I thought you were going to say 16 seconds away from the GG. I was like, now that's a bold claim. But it sort of feels that way.
May as well be,
yeah.
to be quite honest. Like, it feels that we're at that point.
Beastmaster goes head-to-head with Quap. Quap dies, as does Beastmaster, but really, Quap had so much farm that it breaks even and opens up the mid tower for a comfortable push, as Quap was the only one stopping that from happening. They can go to the high ground here because there's not a lot of worry. Echo Slam is down. I mean, what do you do?
Doug does have more than double the Ursa's net worth now. So I was not. Yeah. This
Yang
is
gets
you
double
just gotta call it.
popped. Link melds. Yeah, they push in. They get the racks. They're gonna get the tower. Wirt gets stunned. Impetus. Everyone's got so much damage. Nice fissure, but what's it really gonna do? Never mind. Buys back, and he will manage to phase out, potentially save the racks here. Here comes BH. Han left behind. Finishes off. Never mind. Will he go down? No, he goes invisible. They don't have any vision for him right now. Nope, BH wants to go, but not before he gets the ES. BH left behind. G with the spin, and down go 4. The dieback from the Quap and the Rex are easy pickings as they go ahead and lean on USC very aggressively. Gold lead at 14,000, XP at 14 as well, and Purdue feels like a semi-truck who has no brakes and just doesn't care. I should say, like a runaway freight train, because these boys have boilered the fuck up.
Wow.
This is a massacre.
I don't have anything to add.
I don't think I've seen anything. I haven't seen this kind of a massacre since VG Newbie and TI.
Jeez. Really want to rub it in for USC, huh? This is, I mean, this is what happens when your opponents pick a very greedy late game oriented strategy and your carry gets kited around instead of just engaging somewhere.
I think
The Ursa made zero impact on those rotations, and that's what it comes down
there's
to.
the GG. I don't think USC played bad. I just think Purdue prepped and came in ready for this game, and it showed with their performance and their practice. They did a great job. They take the win. They advance to the next round, and it goes 2-0. Purdue advancing over USC. And what should have been an even match, I thought for sure we'd see it go 2-1 tonight, but it is not meant to happen. So that's it for this evening from the CSL. My name's Toffees. You can follow me at Toffees TV if you had fun. Follow my GoCaster, Gorgon the Wonder Cow. Where can they find you, sir?
Hey guys, you can find me over at The Wonder Cow, where I post up not only my cast, but all of my writing and analysis, which is what I usually do in Dota.
And then don't forget at C Star League for all the updates on what games will be featured here throughout the playoffs. And a big shout out to Asus, Republica Gamers, and Twitch for being our on-site sponsors. We couldn't do it without you guys. Well, it's been a wonderful evening. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday and Thursdays every night for the rest of playoffs. And hopefully, if you're willing to do it, come join us in May at DreamHack Austin. There's going to be a lot of fun this month. Playoffs are going to be a blast, and DreamHack will be even better. Last chance to go to cstarleague.com. I'm going to remind you again and enter for your chance to win a free Asus gaming laptop as well as 2 brand new monitors. My name's Toffee. It's been great spending the evening with you, and as always, my friends, Toffee's out.